Hi, welcome to Stone Barns. This is Phil Haynes. I'm the rangeland manager here, where I look after the pigs and poultry. Today I'm here to talk to you about ducks and the different ways you can break it down and cook with it in your kitchen. First, you're going to need regular boning knife, any kind, but I prefer a 6-inch curved boning knife. I feel like it gives you enough length to do a nice long cut, and at the same time it's not too long so you have a little bit more control. Second, you're going to want some kind of steel or honing steel like this. This is actually a flat diamond steel that's going to actually help sharpen your knife, not just hone it. Basically, before you cut and during different cuts throughout the process, you're going to want to run your knife just on a 15-degree angle to sharpen it, just like that. Okay, so now we have our 1-week dry-aged duck. You can tell just by the color of the skin and its kind of toughness that it's been air chilling and hanging, which helps in the cooking process. There's less water and it'll have a nice harder sear in a pan. To start off, we're gonna go ahead and take the head here, and basically you just wanna use your base of your knife to kind of break those joints apart. Here you're gonna just run it down, cut right off, and the duck head is off. So next, it's great to take the neck off so that you can get to the rest of the cuts without damaging anything. First, you're gonna just basically ride the shoulder of the neck so that you're not damaging the wings or the breast. Just nice long cut right through. And then to help this last part, you're gonna need to actually put a little pressure on it and cut through the bone like that. And then just cut through the back. It's done. So now you have your duck neck. I'll start off by holding this wing up like that to separate it from the shoulder. And then I'm just gonna kind of ride this crease here until I get down into the shoulder joint. And you can see here there's bone. And you're just gonna put the tip of the knife in there and separate it out. So the deeper that you go with the knife, the more damage that you'll do to the breast. And so by keeping it shallow, you keep the breast, which is now right here, intact. Do the same thing to the other side. And again, keeping your knife shallow on that shoulder. Just cut the legs down until they're hanging off the back of the bird. And again, your approach is to just open this kind of crease up, but not go into the muscle. You really just want to be cutting the skin back and through the fat. You can see that there's a lot of fat on here. So again, you have to look for these membranes and just follow them. You can see the muscle separated right here. You have the thigh, and then this is the shoulder, or the rib cage right here. So you want to keep riding along this part of the thigh until you get down to the spine. So now I've reached the hip joint right here, and I'm just going to kind of keep riding that until it opens up. Do the same thing to this side. Again, just cut through that crease right in the middle. So you can see the membranes here opening up as I put stress on the leg. Again, just using the tip of your knife to open that up, keeping the muscles together, not cutting into different parts. And you can just really snap the leg right like that if you want. So you're going to set the knife in there and just kind of do it in one strike all the way down. Here's the keel bone where my index finger is. Here's the breast, and you can see that the tenderloin is down there. And you're just going to cut it back a little bit here, and then right here is the wishbone. You can't see it because it's underneath the collar, but you're gonna ride your knife along the wishbone as well and free that up off the shoulder. So now you can see the breast is almost off, it's pretty exposed. And you really just ride your knife along the ribs of the bird until you reach the back. So I'm just going to cut this down here, keep going, riding that rib cage. And cutting it all the way through till the end so that I can trim off as much as I want from the fat part. So here you have an untrimmed duck breast. We'll trim it a little bit just so that there's not too much fat on it after. Same thing again on this part. Now you only have half the breast, so you can see a little bit better. Again, you're just going to keep peeling that back. Once you get to the collarbone, ride the knife along that and separate the breast from the collarbone. Again, nice long strokes all the way down the rib cage until the back, trying to keep everything intact the whole way through. Got our second duck breast off here. What I like is to run the knife really just straight down the back of the spine like that, and that'll kind of give you a nice profile for where to take off the oyster, which lies right here on this part, which is a nice tender piece of meat, and guide it all the way to the end where you'll tear it off the back of the spine. So to get the oyster off, you need to ride this hump that dips into the back of the bird. It's pretty small on ducks, but it's there. Now, you can see I've opened up basically all the way through to the spine, and now you have it. There's your thigh and drumstick. Same approach. You can see the oyster right there. You're going to want to try to pull that off with it. So we have our second leg here, and then the cage. So this is really one of the most valuable parts of a duck because of how much fat and flavor that it has. So you can really utilize this part to your advantage and add a lot of stuff to your pantry from just this one carcass alone. You can make lard, broth, add that to your rices or sauces later on, and it'll add a tremendous ducky flavor to it. So to remove the drumstick from the thigh, you're gonna find where the knee meets with the shin right here, and just bend that, flex it a little bit, and that's where your knife is gonna go, is where all that flex is happening. So here you have your drumstick and thigh. So here we have our thigh, and you're going to start off by looking at how much fat is on the interior and just trimming off little bits that aren't unnecessary. And these little parts of fat are going to be great later on for rendering in a lard. This leg would be great on top of potatoes in the oven, roasting. So next we have our duck breast. And again, flipping it over, looking at the interior, you're going to try to just make the duck breast on the inside look aesthetically pleasing and not have too much fat. So there's a little bit of bone here that I'm going to trim. I don't want the bone in the pan. Too much fat right here. Just trim that off. So this fat here can also come off. This is not part of the breast. And you can see the way that the fat just peeled off where the actual breast is. Then this last part here is a little too much, so I'll trim that away and try to trim it to the shape of the breast. And this is kind of what you want to end up with, is just well-rounded breast. So that was breaking down a duck. We hope you enjoyed cooking with these ducks at home, and they're now available in the farm store. Stay tuned at our website, stonebarncenter.org, for more tips and ideas for how to cook with these. Thanks for watching.